morning YouTubers. So today we're going to be looking at the M113 engine, in particular some of the weak gasket points. But before I start, I just want to bring attention to our new t-shirts. It's got our SSG logo and it's also got the QR code to get us straight to the YouTube channel. I'll be putting some of these up for sale in the description. I'll give a link to where you can purchase these. T-shirts will be £20, hoodies will be £40. Let me know what you think in the comments. But let's carry on now with looking at what we're talking about with regards to this engine and see what it is we're going to be dealing with. So we all know about the valve cover gaskets, which are the gaskets this side and this side which can leak. I will be replacing those, but particularly today, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bit of an oil leak going on down there, just there. And this is coming basically from the cooler and the oil filter housing. So there's gaskets that go here and in between here. They're the ones we're going to replace this morning. It shouldn't take too long and it's not really that difficult a job to do. But we'll film it and let you see what's going on, and we'll clean up this area, and that will stop this constant leaking of oil in that particular space. So we're going to remove the engine cover, and then we'll need to remove the oil filter so that we can actually start seeing the bolt that needs undoing under there. A few things that are required, obviously the gaskets. Now Mercedes did have these gaskets. Weirdly enough, they wanted to charge like £16 just for some very small, these two small gaskets, £16 each. So they would have been like £32, and this one was then only £3. Anyway, got these all from Febby. Everything there came to £9. So it's 49403, 49402, and 173982, which is the bit that goes underneath the oil filler. Let's put them to the side there a minute. Let's get this off. Get that out of the way for now. This is what we need undoing, and for that you're going to need one of these. This looks like it's a number 14 that goes on there, and for the bolt that's inside you need a 46mm socket. That will undo the bolt that's actually in there. Okay, so we'll undo this first. I've got some tissue and a tray ready to catch because I don't want oil going everywhere. So we'll undo this and remove. Oil drain out, and we'll just pop that in there for now so it's somewhere safe. Now the main things I'm going to do first is undo the 4 screws around this first. The reason I'm going to do that is because I think it'll be easier to loosen this and then undo this big bolt that's in here. But basically we've got 2 gaskets that will go here and here, and one at the bottom of this. So I'm going to start by undoing these. So you'll need a Torx 27 to undo these 4 bolts. The 3 here are okay to get to, but the one down the side here is a bit awkward to get to. And realistically you're probably going to have to remove the secondary air pump just so that you can gain access to that. So I'm going to go ahead and undo this bracket here so that I can get this out and give me more space to be able to get to that bolt. To remove this bolt here, we'll need an E10. So we're going to use this E10 to remove this bracket. Undo our plug. And this should allow us to now move this bracket. Probably not been moved for a while, so it's going to be a bit tight at first. You may have to use a screwdriver, maybe a flathead screwdriver to get it to move maybe. There we go, it's out. And now we can get access to that bolt just here. These are the bolts that are holding it in place. Put them somewhere safe. Last thing you want to do is lose them. And the last one on the bottom here. To me this looks like it's been a replacement bolt. Doesn't seem like what the original one would be. Try again with a longer extension, might make it a bit easier now. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely not the original stuff. But now we can separate this, and I think we can see quite clearly the gaskets. So now we're going to undo this big bolt one. So let's put this tissue there for a minute. Let's get our big bolt remover here. Okay, so we just got it loose with the breaker bar. So now we should be able to undo it. There were the two gaskets that we're going to seal there, and I'll show you inside. That's the other gasket here that we're going to replace. So we're going to clean this up and put the new gaskets in. So we're going to use a pick to get this gasket out. There we go. That gasket's out. Looks like it's fading as well of some weird way. It's left some marks of itself there. Very weird. It's very weird that the gaskets I wouldn't say falling apart, but it was leaving part of itself in there. There we go, that's clean now. Okay, we've got that out. So our replacement one is this Febi 173982. Let's open this up. Okay, let's get this in there. Okay, that's looking good. Now we need to change the other two. To be fair, these didn't look hugely old. However, the fact that it's still leaking oil shows that they either weren't good quality or they were on the way out. I mean, that to me, on there, that looks completely flush when it shouldn't be. It should be a little bit proud. So yeah, I think they've it was a good time to change them, really. Let's get these out. That's one, that's two. Give it a quick clean. I'm going to use some brake cleaner just to clean out the channels. Let's get our new ones on. Yeah, these sit much, you can see that they sit prouder. So when tightened, obviously they will pull in better. Brilliant. Now we put this back in place here. Making sure our gasket is still in place, which it is. Remove any of the old gasket from the bottom of this one. Okay, ready to go back now. So that goes there. We need our bolt, which is here. Nice big bolt. And we'll use our socket. Looking good. Okay, that's kind of in place. I'm going to check the torque settings for that in a moment, and we can start putting this back on as well. Right, so I'm going to start getting these little bolts in now. I'm going to start with the one that was at the bottom, the extra long one. Put it back from whence it came. Use our longer extension to help us. Okay, that's starting to go in. Let's go for the top over here. And we're just left with the one that's on the side. The one that was a bit more awkward to get out. Now these bolts, you don't do up very tight. They're probably about 8 Newton meters, if that. So all I'm going to do now is check the torque spec for this main big bolt, tighten that up, and then we can start putting the secondary air pump back in place and the filter back in. Okay, so the oil filter housing, the nut we're going to do here is 25 Newton meters. We're going to get this on. I think, to be honest, it was done up far too tight the time before, whoever had been here before. But we got it on 25 Newton meters, and that's what we're going to do it to. Give it a tick. That's 25 Newton meters. So we've got our bolts here done up. We've got our big bolt there done up. We've obviously got our gaskets in place. Just going to remove this tissue. I'm going to spray some brake cleaner down there in a moment. But let's put our filter back in. Always hand tighten. There we go, and I'll check the Newton meters on that in a moment because I can't remember off the top of my head. Put our secondary air pump back in place. Put the pipes back on, make sure nothing's left off. We've got our E10 bolt here. Oh, nearly made the mistake of not putting on the ground cable. How many times has anyone done that? So yes, your ground cable must go on this bolt as well. We'll plug on the plug. All back on. Excellent. So I'm just going to check the torque settings for this. Let me quickly spray down and clean the area. That's all nice and clean now, which is what we want to see. Great. Right, so we've got the torque settings for the filter house, for the oil filter. Let's put that on. Done. And that's pretty much it. Job done, and quite cheap. So for the sake of just £10 and 30 minutes of your time, you can fix 3 known M113 engine leaks. I think that's a bargain. While we're here, I just want to show you one other leak. So you see here, there's a plate. There's actually a plate there that also has a gasket on. I have actually got I've got the plate and another gasket. However, on this ML, they've put like a pressure, an oil pressure gauge, as you can see. Now, I don't think it's actually leaking from there. I think the leak was coming from what we've just done here, from the oil cooler and the oil filter housing. But there is actually, as I say, another known area where this engine does leak from, and it's just there. It's like a plate that needs replacing. But as I say, I don't think mine's leaking from there. And at the moment, they're using it to power this this hose that lets us know the pressure, which is actually quite a good idea. So I'm not going to change that. But yeah, with just the sake of £10 and 30 minutes of your time, you can fix 3 known M113 leaks. 2 gaskets here, 1 at the bottom. It's really worth your time doing, and obviously along with then doing the valve cover gaskets, these ones here. And I'm pretty sure that the oil dipstick gasket as well, or bung down the bottom, is another known thing on this engine. But there you go, folks. Nice, cheap, easy fix. Job done. Very happy.